So you gonna join me in a game of IO?
I love this game. Me and my son play it all the time.
I love it too.
Oh, we were playing it all the time. And Molo started benching me for people I thought were way worse than me, and wouldn't let me leave, so I stopped joining them.
So, is that your squad for this coming season?
No, that was last season.
Oh,
This season I'm leading and doing really well so far. So.
awesome. You're with Cannibal, aren't you? I think that's what he said. Yeah. That's cool. I hope you guys have a good season.
I hope so. I know. We're 3-1 so far when I led. In the first game, we probably would have won if I wasn't so rusty.
Oh yeah.
Because I was 8 deaths in the first 10 minutes from sniper, and then once I made the adjustment, because I forgot you could use snipers, and once I made the adjustment, we were down by like 25, 30 kills,
Wow.
and then we ended up only losing by like a half a battle or something like that.
Who were you playing against?
Access denied. Also, it took a minute. I forgot that Chaos Blade leads in a very distinct way, and I adjusted to that as well. And once I did, it just became a totally different game from the first to the second half.
Yeah, you gotta get used to playing with those players all over again.
Yeah. Definitely.
Joker said he was gonna join us, but I don't know. We'll see.
What squad are you?
I'm not. I'm not in a squad yet.
Uh,
I just got unbanned.
why were you banned?
They didn't give any particular reason other than I'm a troll and I'm an idiot and a few other things that they like to
What
say
the
about me.
fuck?
Yeah, they had no real excuse to ban me.
I,
They do
that's
what
what I
they
hate
do,
about.
so.
You know what's so stupid is when I came back to this game originally and Ms. Alice was in charge of all that stuff, he said, "Oh, I'm not gonna ban anybody for anything."
Yeah.
And then now these people are banning people. Well, no, he said he would ban people like for spec info and cheating or hacking.
Yeah, or
But he said, "I'm
if
not gonna
they...
ban people for."
I can see it if they're messing with the server, you know, hacking the server, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can see that, but for trolling on Discord, come on. You're gonna just, you know, alienate
that's
someone for
bullshit.
that? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Everybody
bullshit.
does it. Everybody gets on Discord. Everybody trolls, but I got banned for it. And
That's bullshit.
you know, that it just looks bad on them. And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
I'm surprised Fosto hasn't stole his alias back since he's like in charge. Well, my alias that he stole from me and then tried to keep it. The alias WIN, win.
Yeah.
When I first came back to Free Infantry a few years ago, or what, more than that now, he took it knowing that I use it all the time. And then he didn't want to give it back. I forced him to do it.
That's crazy. Yeah,
But, no, you shouldn't that's like some Sony level shit. Like, I remember when you first started playing this game, you could spam racism on Free Infantry and they wouldn't ban you.
yeah.
Which I think is fucked up, but at the same time, I'd rather have that than banning people for trolling, which is bullshit.
Especially when the pop is so low. You can't just, you know,
Yeah.
are you trying to kill your own game? Is that what's going on? Because I think that's what it is.
I agree.
I mean, either you want people to play or you don't. Either you want more people or you don't. You want to see growth or you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this thing that Mode has implemented is going to make some changes. What do you think? Have you seen that?
I haven't been paying attention to that. What is it about?
They're trying to make it where the players can vote in USL instead of one person making all the decisions and, you know, wielding the band stick, if you will. They want to see people voting and you know, being a little diplomatic about the situation instead of one person. I just let everybody die. I'm sorry.
So in a perfect world, that would be the answer, right? But as somebody that's dealt with some wild situations playing the game for so many years, I think it's probably not the right decision because, like, there's so many biases. So, like, say somebody that nobody likes has a situation where they need a rematch, let's just say, and it comes to a community vote. If nobody likes the person, they're not going to get it.
Well, I mean,
And then the opposite way too. Somebody that everybody likes might get a rematch they don't deserve because everybody likes them. The problem is though, there's so many super biased people in this game that can't take themselves out of the situation.
too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not liked, so I would probably be the one that, you know, never gets what she wants, but I would still, even knowing that nobody likes me and no one would ever vote in my favor, I would still consider that situation better than what we have now.
I think, personally, what I think would be a better solution is that we should be allowed to replace the staff if we think they're abusing their power. But the problem with that is, though, there's probably not a lot of people that want to do it to replace them. But
That's been the whole
I think
problem in a nutshell, that they're stuck in their situations because nobody else wants to do it. I personally did not want to captain a team because I've never done it. I don't want to deal with the men that are in admin, and it just seems like a big, huge hassle that I don't even want to try to take on.
It is. I've captained more than just System Era in my career. I did a lot of teams and shit. And it's a fucking headache. And going back to like rematches, I'll give you a few examples of like the bullshit and how like the league admin bias goes. So, when when was it? I don't remember what's. Oh, season 5, I think, or 6 of MSL or early USL. Star. I think I explained this on the last podcast or last whatever we did the interview, but Star had to eat dinner at like 7 p.m. SE needed an early match from like 5 to 8 p.m. because a bunch of our people, it was a weird weekend, and a bunch of our people had to do something on Monday or whatever it was, I don't remember. But we needed an early match. They wanted like a 10 or 11 p.m. match. And at the time, back in the day, that didn't work for us. So we had decided to let it force schedule because we were asking for 5, 6 p.m. like you used to be able to back in the day. And they were asking for 10:30, 11 o'clock. So they ended up force scheduling. And it was the first time they ever had to force a scheduled game before. So this had never happened. But instead of like, because that was the rule. Like there was a rule written that if we can't agree on a time, we force schedule. But Star opened up an appeal and asked for a rematch because he had to miss the game because he had to eat dinner. It wasn't like a family emergency or something like that. It was literally he had to eat dinner. But him and the admin were friends, and they ended up getting a rematch.
That's crazy.
Which I think in that situation, it would be better for all the other captains or the public to vote. But because we ended up winning the game, but we ended up winning the next game too, and that's why they changed USL map or whatever. But like, there was also a time where Eric, I don't know if you know Eric, he's the one who does the USL Live.
Yeah.
So we're playing against SFO in the playoffs, and this season we weren't. It was like a season where we lost a bunch of people. Like I think Chaos left, Turk left. And our remaining team wasn't as good on paper, but we were still pretty good. And I think we were the third or fourth squad. And we were playing against SFO. And Eric wasn't on SFO, obviously, because he was the ref. But he was very good friends with all of them. And we ended up taking the lead from them. And we were beating them by like 6 or 8 kills. And for us, it was very hard to do that because of how good they were. And they have good leaders and stuff. I personally think I'm a better leader than Chaos, but the skill offsets it because of how much skill they had. But we're leading the game 6-0. We're on our side of the map, and according to them, they had better position. But most of the people I talked to in spec said we had the better position. And there was only, it's like essentially if we won that battle, we'd probably win the game because there wasn't a lot of time left. And out of nowhere, Eric spec'd all. And he did it on purpose. It wasn't like an accident or whatever. He spec'd all. And he said, oh, I did it to help you, Darth. And it's like, no, it's bullshit. He was really good friends with everybody on the other squad. And he did it because he knew they were going to win. We were going to win. And the admin was close friends with SFO, and instead of starting the game with that much time left and that score, which still sucks because we had better position, whatever, but at least we wanted to start the game with, I think it was like 5.5 minutes left, and we were up by like 6 to 8 kills. And the admin instead forced a full rematch. And it was bullshit.
People are dirty in this game. I'm sorry, I have to say that. There are some people in here that abuse power. That's just how it is. Not only do they talk a lot of shit, but they abuse power. And in a small, intimate game like this, 50 plus people on a good day, it's not a cool thing to do.
That's always been my problem with Champions. Like, Champion uses the fact that he's the best player, and people want to be on the squad with him and stuff like that. He uses that to get what he wants all the time, or at least he used to. I don't know about it anymore. I can't speak on it now. And it's crazy.
Champion is garbage, and he should never be in charge of anything.
He was for a long time, though, if you remember.
He's in charge of the USLZone.com website right now, and he banned me, and the reason that he gave was, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's Champion.
So
that's
to me, that,
show.
I mean, regardless of what I am, he is a dirty piece of crap for doing that.
Oh, yeah. 100%. He always has been. He faked being a girl to get on better squads back in the day.
That's crazy.
His name was Toxicity or something like that.
That is just insane. That he's got that mentality. I can't believe it.
Like, don't get me wrong, a bunch of us double squatted or whatever, but nobody pretended to be a girl. Because at the time, there wasn't many girls on the... Well, there's never been that many girls, but especially at that time, there weren't many girls that played USL. It was like early USL.
Yeah.
And he pretended to be a girl.
That's
just
crazy.
so he can get on better squads and pretend, like, flirt with guys and stuff, thinking they had a chance so that they would join him.
Oh my god.
He would join it. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's good.
Because he wasn't as good as he became later on.
Well, that's a good little tidbit to know. I'm glad you told me that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But no,
But
I do not have any love lost for Champion or any USL admin for that matter. There really isn't one that I care for too much.
there's only been a few that were in my opinion, fair and balanced. That's even like I'm not even just saying, oh well, because they ruled against me. There were some that ruled against me, and I knew I was like wrong. But you still have to argue your side like a lawyer in court. You
Right,
always
right.
argue. Like I knew I wasn't gonna get a rematch a few times, but I had to argue it. But there's been a few that were as fair and balanced as you can be, but most of them are not.
I mean, I give everybody a benefit of the doubt. If they're decent people, I can work with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Oh
ask
yeah,
much
100%.
from anybody. So for them to, hate on me, they need to have a reason. They need to explain to me
Well,
why it is they hate me so much.
I got you. Well, you know what I ended up doing after the rematch with New Beginning? I ended up always trying to recruit the leader of the USL, like the admin. I ended up always trying to recruit them so he would be on our squad and we could maybe get the benefit of the doubt.
Get a little help going out there.
I was like, I was like, if you're gonna play dirty, I'll take it to the next level.
I think that's what happened. We all used to be pretty decent people, but it's just gone to different levels. I don't know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love USL. I love the game. That's for sure. But, the people, they're old and crotchety, I guess, now. I don't know what the deal is.
Oh, for me, I don't really care about the game anymore for a long time, but I love playing with my friends.
Yeah, that's the cool part about it. I have my
That's the
own
part I like.
friends, my bug hunt friends that I love to play with. And Jokers, I like Jokers. He's cool.
Yeah, Jokers is cool. I've known Joker since the first year I started playing Infantry. He was on my rival squad, and we beat them in season 4 to win our first championship.
Poor Jokers.
He ended up joining my squad though for a while.
Yeah, he's probably been on every squad ever known to man.
At some point, yeah, definitely. Not me. I was on. I was a little bit of a squad hopper when I first started playing, but I really, I really wanted to lead a squad because I felt like I could do it.
Yeah.
But I needed experience, so I guess I tried to get all the experience as fast as possible. I I joined 301st Infantry, which is like the noob squad, and they used to always have like so many players that were noobs and teach them how to play. And I played with them for a few weeks, and somehow I tried out for Bad Company, and I won a duel, and then I played in a squad battle, and I did well, and it was all luck. So I ended up getting on Bad Company, and I learned so much from them. But as I did that, I double squatted, like 'cause I'm an asshole. I double squatted, and I ended up, what do you call it? Learning a lot from that squad because that squad was really good as well. And so then I started looking for like potential squads I could lead on. So I joined this like noob squad with the intention of leading for it, and it actually happened. And it was called the Imperial Pack or the Galactic Pack. They were a pretty famous pub squad back in the day, and the guy Ripper Dingo 9 was their leader, and Bouncer Club was their second in command. And Bouncer Club liked me better because I was more calm. And when we would do inter-squad battles, which were a thing back then, because it would be like 40 people on your squad,
Yeah.
I would always beat Ripper Dingo 9 with the worst players. Like, I would have the bench players. So Bouncer Club said to, like, Ripper, hey, please let Darth lead in squad battles, because we're actually joining USL the next season. And he refused, so we decided to, and also tag squad, because you had to put, let me show you. TIP tilde. It would be like TIP execute. And no good players wanted to join and use a new alias like the TIP execute. So,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah, we were all saying like, let's get rid of that. We can still be called the Imperial Pack, blah blah blah. But he refused, and what do you call it? He refused. So Bouncer Club actually was his idea. Was like, let's just start a new squad. So me, Bouncer, and the other captains met in secret and decided to do it. And we invited Ripper to join and like be a player because he's a really good player. He actually was really good, but he was mad and he refused to do it, and he wouldn't give us the squad name, the Imperial Pack. So we decided to make a squad. And then when we were discussing names, my computer crashed and it said the blue screen, you had a massive system error. And then one of the people was like, system error, that's a great name for the squad.
And so
And
it
that's
was
how
born.
system error got its name.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But yeah, that's how
What a story.
I started leading, and I loved it ever since. But from that point, I was on system error in USL only for, oh, how many? 8 seasons. But back then, seasons were like way longer. So the equivalent to probably like 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
SE was around. And I only stopped because I got a job where I worked on Sundays. And I joined another squad like season 9, and then I completely stopped playing season 10. And then I came back season 13 when I got fired from the job.
Life always seems to get in the way of infantry. It sucks.
But then I got a different job after that, and I was able to play on Sundays. I was happy about that, but
Can't work on Sundays. I have USL. Sorry, guys.
no, I used to tell people I can't do anything on Sunday. Or if I went to the bars during football season, I'd be like, I gotta go before like 7 p.m. usually. I used to like to get online, depending on what time our SB was.
That is crazy.
My one girlfriend hated it.
You should have made her play. You should have turned her into an
I
infantry
tried.
girl.
She wasn't like that. She was like one of those girls that watch the Kardashians.
Oh God.
Yeah. She would get so mad. You're playing that stupid game like that. I knew I wasn't gonna marry her when we were together for like almost like 2 years, maybe something like that.
If you hate infantry, you are not marriage material.
Exactly. It's like I played this game longer than I'll ever know you, so.
That's crazy. Crazy but true.
I've known people on infantry way longer than I've known almost all my friends that I have left.
That's insane. I have a few good friends, but I've known Octavian longer than I've known Dirt, longer than I've known God. He's been freaking around a long time.
Yeah, my system error guys I've known since 2001.
So while everyone was playing USL, I was in EOL playing. I was never a league person. I was always playing in different zones, trying to mix it up a little bit.
Well, you know what's funny is when we became a squad, like I was telling you, we were like a shitty noob, like semi-noob squad with a few good players. And I was trying to recruit in Mech and Killing Fields because they were the skirmish zones. And like anybody that played, I couldn't recruit any good players other than like a handful of people. Like Raver, Pandy's brother, and like maybe 1 or 2 people that played Mech or Killing Fields. And my one friend, Scorp008, used to play No Man's Land. So So I decided, I'm like, hey, do you know any of the guys? Because there was No Man's Land Team League. Used to be a league. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
SL
but
Skirmish League. Is that what you're talking about?
no. No Man's Land had a league.
Oh, No Man's
Remember No
Land.
Man's
Yeah.
Land?
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a league. So I said to them, because SL guys wouldn't join either, because that was my first thought. But SL guys were just too good. They either didn't want to play or they wanted to be on the better squads. So I'm like, hey, nobody thinks the No Man's Land guys are good, because No Man's Land was like this really small map with bunkers and a lot of trees.
It was
And
the
everyone's like,
noob zone.
yes. But I was like, you know what? Let's try. So we recruited like probably 5 out of the top 10 or 15 players from there. And it ended up working. So then I was like, well, let me look at other zones too. So then Scorp and me decided to just go into zones and look for people that we thought would translate. And it ended up half of our roster ended up being from other zones. And the other half was like people that were on CIP or a few like Pandy that we recruited from shitty squads, but we saw that they were good.
The only problem with that is people knew that it was the noob zone, but it was the hardest. It was like the lamest, the hardest, and people just couldn't.
Yeah.
Couldn't
But it ended up working though. It ended up working for us. Like it worked so well because everybody was just happy to have a chance. So everybody was willing to work together and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That helps.
bro, we were fucking 13. Oh, I thought you were laughing at me. I thought my wife was laughing at me. But yeah, so everybody was happy to just get a chance because they couldn't get on other squads. Oh. Yeah. So we were ranked in like because there was like 16 or 18 squads in season 3 to start, and we were ranked. Damn, I can't remember. We were ranked in the bottom half, like way bottom half, like maybe ranked 12 or 13, and that was only because they saw a squad battle list 1 squad that was projected to be the second or third best squad, and we did pretty good against them. And the funny thing is, we were actually beating them a bunch of times, but people didn't see it back then because, like, if you made a squad battle back then, nobody came in the arena. It was like private. So we had actually beat them a bunch of times, and we always did pretty well against them. And the first game we played against, a weak squad, and people didn't know if we would win or not, but they thought it was going to be a close game, and we ended up winning by like 60. So then people were like, oh, well, maybe it's just because that other squad sucks. So then we were going against a veteran squad that was considered like the lowest ranked veteran squad, but they were still ranked higher than all the new squads. And we beat them by like 40 kills. And then people were like, oh, well, maybe, blah, blah, blah.
You got lucky.
And then we squad battled against this other squad that was considered one of the top 4 or 5 squads called Northern Wolves. And everyone's like, there's no chance. Maybe they'll keep the game close, but there's no chance. And we ended up beating them by like 25-ish kills, 25 kills. And then people were like, oh, well, maybe, blah, blah. And it's like, all right, well, maybe.
Maybe.
And then, so then we squad battled the best squad in the beginning. And we lost, but we only lost by like 5 kills. And then people were like, oh no, these guys are the real. They actually called us the fake SE because there was a squad. I don't remember when the squad was around, but it was called like Syndicate Elite or something like that. And they were considered the real SE, but they had dissolved before the season. I think they played season 2. And everyone's like, oh, they stole their name, but they don't have their talent, blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, oh no, you're the real SE. But like nobody knew any of our players though, because we recruited from other zones. And then after people realized, they started doing it too.
Yeah, that's.
But I did it out of desperation because we couldn't get any of the good players.
That's how you get growth. People don't get it. You should play. They should all
Yeah.
play other zones, and I don't know. I've
Oh yeah,
always done that.
I started playing after that. I started playing Hard Corps a lot.
Yeah, that
I
all.
started playing No Man's Land, and then I also started playing EOL. I loved EOL.
I love
I
EOL.
sucked at it. I sucked, but I played it. I only 30k'd bounty one time because you remember One I Owned You?
Yeah,
If you played EOL.
yeah.
Yeah, he was on SE. He was one of the guys we recruited, and he 30k'd me because he always had a team that was really good. He got me to 30k without me doing anything.
Yeah, EOL was great if you had a good team. You have to have a good team, though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I bountied, and the one time we played flags, and we had a lot of fun. He's one of the guys that I recruited because he was so good in the game, and I'm like, he has to be good in skirmish if he's just good in CTF.
Yeah.
And I ended up translating.
That's
so good.
unusual though, because some people can't do it. They're like, no, it's too lame. Can't do it. Can't handle it. So when they do,
Well, yeah.
it's cool.
Well, when he came over, he was a medic. He ended up playing medic, but he always was like a combat medic, meaning like he always was fighting too.
Yeah.
And at first I was like trying to be like, no, you gotta like heal more. And then I saw like he would get a lot of kills, and the flank team got better when he would be fighting, and I was like, no, just do what you're doing, bro.
Just do what you do. I was never a combat medic. That's my whole problem.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem though, because in my opinion, there's two different types of meds. Like you got the combat medic and then the main medic, and the combat's for flank, and the main medic is like a double dog where
Keeps the team
you need
healed.
them to heal main, because the main medic needs to heal. Because I usually run 4-3-1.
Oh yeah.
And usually I keep the solo flanker closer to main, so the combat medic has to run to heal the solo flanker and heal an extra guy. So for me, the people have different play styles, and you have to figure out which position is better for them.
Right.
At least in my opinion. That's how I've always done it.
That's what a good leader does.
Thank you. Oh wait, your other alias was Ice Princess, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Did you ever play on SC? I can't remember if we ever recruited you.
No, I was never a big squad person. I still can't get involved.
Did you ever play
really.
with Deviac? On the Iron?
I mean, not in squad, just in pub.
You really never. I thought you played with him one season on the Iron.
It's been so long ago, I can't remember. Maybe it's possible. Anything is possible. Ask Mecca, he'll know.
Yeah, Mecca was one of the No Man's Land guys that came over to SC.
Yeah.
His name was Muscle back then, was a dash.
With a dash. I remember.
Yeah, Muscle. Yeah, MUS. You know, with the little dash thing like that.
Yeah.
And he came over from No Man's Land Team League, where he was one of the best players. And, what do you call it? And he played really well in USL. And people were like, holy shit, he's No Man. It was Muscle, Mecca, from No Man's Land. Rio Volt, aka Legacy.
Yeah, yeah.
Killer Trinsic, Lil True Viet. Both of those guys stopped playing around pay-to-play time, though. They played 1 or 2 seasons after pay-to-play, but then they quit.
It really turned everybody off when P2P happened.
Yeah. And then Apollo came from Bug Hunt. Serial FX was his original name.
No wonder Apollo hates me.
Yeah, he was Serial FX.
Yeah, I remember him as Serial FX.
And When I Own You came from EOL. Trying to think of other players. Scorp 08 actually was a Killing Field / No Man's Land player. Because me and him played in Killing Fields together all the time. And I was like, hey, you want to make a squad? Because he was like, or oh, hey, you want to join the squad? And he there was a crazy situation once with SE where after pay to play, finding medics was almost impossible for a while, right?
Yeah, no one wanted to play.
And yeah, and what I had to do, I mean, what was suggested to do, that Bouncer Club wanted to do, was recruit, team up with Suicide Medics, the pub squad, if you remember them.
Yeah, I remember.
And whoever from Suicide Medics wanted to play for SE could play, but they got to stay on Suicide Medics and pub. And back then, you remember, like, no, if you're in a squad, you're in a squad. There was none of this, like, oh, in pub, I'm on this squad in the league.
Yeah, yep, you were in
And
the
I
squad.
I was very adamant about it to the point where Bouncer Club got so mad at me, he left the squad because I wanted the Suicide Medics players to join. So, but he left, Bouncer left, and a few people left with him. And, like, two of them were our medics. And Scorp 008 actually solo meted 2 Loot USL games, and we won both of the games in him meting in an 8v8 by himself. And but eventually, though, me and Bouncer made up, and we made a compromise and allowed the Suicide Medic players in the squad. But it was just funny how Scorp 008 was able to solo medic in an 8v8. And win the game.
Solo
We won the
med.
game.
I couldn't imagine.
We literally made a whole game plan and everything around it, and we practiced or whatever, and the plays we set up made it so whatever. Like, I completely just, but it was hard. He was like, Darth, we need to figure something out. I can't do this against better squads. But he did it for two games, and we practiced probably like 30 or 40 games with only one medic. And he made it work, but it was so hard for him, and it was hard if he died. Essentially, get as many kills as you can. But if he lived, in the battles he lived, though, it like made the battle so much easier because you have an extra gun.
Yeah.
So it was this really weird balance that you had to hit, but it wasn't worth it. That's why I ended up.
Cannibal calls it pulling your weight. He says I don't pull my weight when I'm medding, which is true. I the only time I shoot my gun is in defense, really.
I don't think medics need to get kills. I used to have this formula back when I thought medics needed to get a few kills, where it was what was it? Oh, +3 and -5, meaning all the Marines needed to have a +3 score, like 3 kills, and 0 deaths minimum. So if you had 3 deaths, you needed 6 kills, and so on.
Wow.
And medics was 5. They got 5 kills. However it worked. So medics were allowed to die 5 times before they needed to get a kill, and Marines had to get 3 kills before they died, essentially. And that's to account for, like, me leading, breaking even as leader. And, like, I think the math worked, where you always win the game if you do that. If your leader goes even, or something like that. And that was, like, the formula we always tried to hit, and, like... But then I realized, like, medics don't need to get kills, and... But you do want to aim for your Marines to be +3 at the least, but...
I love playing medic. It was always my only class. I never did play any other class back in the day.
No, I remember. I remember seeing Ice, for instance, playing medic all the time.
Yeah, I preferred med. That was my preferred class. But anyways, I need to wrap this up, Darth. I appreciate your time.
Okay. If you guys are on later and want to do the interview, that's cool. I'm down.
That sounds good. You know that I've been recording this whole time. I need to tell you that.
Oh, thanks. Oh, that's cool. No problem.
Okay, cool.
No problem.
All right, I'm going to put it on my YouTube. I appreciate you so much.
Sounds good. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, just ping me if Jokers gets on. We'll do it again.